and write them in my book. And I've got one of the first science magic experiments I ever did right here. Who would like to see our very first ever science magic? You would? That's perfect. Well, we do need someone to help. So I'm going to need someone to... Now, you little people, stay where you are. We're going to use one of our blue coats. And I do believe we've got a brand new blue coat here today that I've not met before. Where is she? Two, we got two. Oh, who's that over there? What's your name? Come on over here, Tori. Let's have a massive round of applause for blue coat, Tori. Oh, steps again. Well done, Beth. Come on over here, Tori. Nice to meet you. I'm Danny. This is Leah and Steph. Have a seat just there. Now, Tori, you've not seen that show before, but you'll be brilliant at helping out with this, because what we're going to do is we're going to get Steph to read the instructions out, and myself and Leah, we'll get ready to do the science. When the science happens, everyone out there, they'll go wild with applause just for you, Tori. Ready for this? Perfect. Excellent.
Ready. Here we go then. For this experiment, you are going to need 1 jug of water.
Jug of water, please, Leah. A jug of water.
You're also going to need a glass.
And a glass. And a glass.
And the final thing is a piece of paper.
A piece of paper. No paper. Tori, do you have any paper? No, she's not.
Okay, so step number 1. You're going to take the jug of water and pour it into the glass.
Now, Tori, watch very, very carefully. Here's our glass. Leah's going to fill the glass with some water. Perfect. Woo. Don't spill it, Leah. Oh, you spilled it.
Okay, step number 2. You're going to take the piece of paper, you're going to dip it into the jug and make it nice and soggy. You're then going to take the piece of paper, pop it onto the glass and turn the glass upside down.
We didn't get any paper, Tori. We didn't get any paper. I tell you what, Steph, we'll borrow this just for a second.
Okay, so into the jug.
Oh, into the jug. So we're going to get this nice and soggy. Now, boys and girls, if you do decide you're going to try this out at home, do not do it with dry paper because it won't work. You've got to have the paper nice and soggy for this to work. And you can put the paper on the glass like this. And then, if you're really brave, the science should kick in, and hopefully you should be able to tip this upside down, and it
connection drill about that
everywhere. Because the paper's nice and soggy, it gives us a seal around the top of the glass, like this. And if you're feeling really brave, you can actually let go. So Tori, that's what we're going to try right now. Do not move a muscle. If we're feeling really brave and this works, get ready to give Tori the biggest round of applause ever. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's have a massive round of applause for Tori. Do not move, Tori. Whatever you do not move. Because that is science. Steph, what happens next?
You've got the instructions.
Oh, sorry, let me get you the instructions. There you go. Carry on.
Thank you. Whatever you do not remove the paper.
Tori, do not move. We've got a bit of a magic thing going on right now. Whatever you do not move. Tori, take hold of the jug. On the count of 3, if this works, everyone will give you the biggest round of applause ever. 1, 2, 3. Let's have a huge round of applause for Blue Coat Tori. Thank you, Tori. Lovely to meet you. Mind your step. Let's have a huge round of applause for Blue Coat Tori.
She was called Tori. She's new. It's her first day, I think.
That's what's going to happen in today's show. In this show this afternoon, we're going to do some magic, but we're also going to do some science. Just like what you've just seen there, we started off with some science, and it created and made some really cool magic.
We have, and next we are going to do an optical illusion.
An optical illusion. Who out there knows what an optical illusion is? Well, you're very quiet out there today. I said, who knows what an optical illusion is? Perfect. Now, for those of you that don't know, Steph's going to tell us.
Well, an optical illusion is something that tricks your eyes into thinking that something is happening, but really, it's not happening at all.
So, we're going to try an optical illusion out right now. It's something that each and every single one of you in the audience can join in with. Mums and dads, grown-ups in the room.
Can you hold my phone for a few minutes while I go get some drinks?
From your seats. Little people down here in the front stay smiling with big smiles and listen very, very carefully. We're going to try our optical illusion out right now. We're going to trick your eyes into tricking your brain into thinking something really strange is happening, but in reality it won't be. So you've all got to join in and get ready to stare at our magic spirals. Everyone at Leah's side of the room, give me a cheer. That's quite loud, that's quite loud. everyone at this side of the room, at Leah's side of the room, you need to stare right at the centre of Leah's magic spiral. Now, everyone at Steph's side of the room, give me a cheer! Way louder, way louder. Everyone at Steph's side of the room, I need you all to stare right at the centre of Steph's magic spiral. Now, grown-ups around the room, feel free to join in. If you can't quite see the spiral, Dave's going to pop them up on our screens in the next few moments. But do not take your eyes from the centre of the magic spiral. They're going to start spinning. As they start spinning, your eyes are going to get all confused and trick your brain into thinking something unusual is happening. In a few moments after you've been looking at the spirals, I'm going to tell you all to look at my head. So you can either look at my head, or at Steph's head, or at Leah's head, or at this lady's head down here at the front. So make sure you stare right at someone's head, and hopefully you'll see an amazing optical illusion taking place. It'll look like our heads are shrinking and growing. But you must concentrate on the spirals. Dave, set those spirals spinning! Here we go. Everyone, keep staring right at the centre of the magic spirals. Keep staring all the way to the centre of the magic spirals. Do not take your eyes from off the magic spirals. Keep staring all the way to the very, very centre. Do not take your eyes off the spirals until I tell you to. When I do, you will see an amazing optical illusion taking place. It will look like our heads are shrinking and growing. Keep staring all the way down to the centre. Moms and dads, feel free to join in with this as well. Keep staring all the way to the centre of our magic spiral. And in a few moments' time, start to look and see the amazing optical illusion taking place. So get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at our heads. You see it over there? Who else can see it? Any grown-ups? You can see it down here. Well done. Well done over there, madam. You don't get out much, do you? Well done. That's very good. Was it happening for you in the middle? Yeah, you can see it. Excellent. So that, boys and girls, mums and dads, that was an optical illusion. It was something that looked like it was happening, but of course, in reality, it wasn't.
That's right, and I know another magic trick that's got a little bit of a science twist to it, but you're going to need this.
This is our shrink ray spray. Shrink ray spray, developed in our very own laboratories. Right?
Laboratory.
No, laboratory. I fished it out of the toilet before we started. So, what you need to do with the shrink ray spray is you get a subject that you're going to use to try this out on. You sit them on a stool, you spray their head with the shrink ray spray, you then put their head into the shrink ray 2000. You turn it up to its maximum power of 1.21 gigawatts, and something amazing will happen. Their head will shrink to the size of a tennis ball.
Ooh.
Now I can tell you we're all impressed with that. We'll try that again. Their head will shrink to the size of a tennis ball. So I'm going to need someone to come up onto the stage, and in fact we need one of the grown-ups. I need a grown-up from the audience who would like to come up onto the stage and help us out. Possibly oh, wow, everyone's being pointed at over there. In fact, you know what? There's a man there, there's a gentleman right here who's volunteering and everything. Let's give this gentleman a massive round of applause as he comes up onto the stage. Come up this way. Wow, what a legend he becomes. What's your name? Ian, did your family just volunteer you then? Ian, have a seat just there, just for a few moments. Now Ian, this is very important because this spray does have a funny effect on people when we put them into the shrink ray spray illusion. Sometimes their hair disappears. But don't worry, you may just lose a little facial hair. Don't worry too much about that. Now Ian, what we'll do, we're going to get ready to spray you with the shrink ray spray. We'll put a little on this side. So far so good. We'll put a little on this side. So far so good. And a little on the top like this, Ian. There we go. So far so good. Now Ian, what's going to happen is Steph and Leah are going to get ready to get you into the shrink ray spray machine. Now do me a favour, Ian, shuffle forward as far as you can on the chair. That's it, keep your legs apart, that's brilliant. Just like you sat on the loo. Now you all know what Ian looks like when he goes to the toilet. There we go. Ian, you've also got a blindfold, which I don't think you wear when you go to the toilet, but you never know. Ian, the reason you've got a blindfold is in a few moments' time, when we put your head into the Shrink Ray 2000, it's going to get very bright and very light inside of there as your head begins to shrink. Steph and Leah will wind plungers on the side of the box and on the top of the box, compressing the sides on the inside of the box, making your head shrink to the size of a tennis ball. In fact, Ian, so long as all goes well and we don't end up with your head exploding and it turning into fried chicken, then fingers crossed, all will be absolutely brilliant and amazing and everyone will give you the biggest round of applause. The round of applause will sound like this. Ian, are you ready for this? Steph, pop the blindfold down. Ian, here we go. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, all we need now is some shrinking head music, Dave. Now, Steph and Leah are getting ready to turn the side of the Shrink Ray sides. So it starts pushing the plungers on the top and on the sides, pushing Ian's head down to the size of a tennis ball. Leah's setting it to 1.21 gigawatts and Steph has turned on the machine. Now they're going to get ready to turn it all the way to its maximum power. When it reaches its maximum power, hopefully an amazing thing will have happened. Ian's head will have shrunk to the size of a tennis ball and everyone out there, you will go wild with applause for our very brave volunteer Ian. Ian, here we go. If it works, get ready to go wild with applause. 1, 2, 3. Wow! Ian, you're doing great. Ian, don't panic. We're going to get you back to normal. We're going to get you back to normal, Ian. Here we go. Well, as normal as you could possibly be. Unwind the plungers, ladies. And don't forget to turn the machine back down. We don't want Ian coming out with his semi-deflated head. Ian, we're going to get ready to get you out of this thing. You can remove your blindfold. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a massive round of applause for Ian! Stand up, Ian. No, Ian. Ian, don't go anywhere, because this is only a test. It is only a prototype. It may go all disastrously wrong later, and we may have all sorts of issues. If we do have any issues, it'll probably happen when you go to bed on the night. If you lay down on the pillow and your head goes and deflates, someone from your family, just get a foot pump, stick it back in his ear and pump his head back to normal. Let's have a huge round of applause for Ian! Thank you, Ian! So fast, so good. So that was a really cool magic trick using Ian there to help us out. But right now, we've got some really cool science that even looks really magical. Are you all ready to see some cool science that looks magical? What have we got, Steph?
Well, this is my genie in a bottle.
A genie in a bottle? A genie just like in Aladdin?
Exactly like out of Aladdin. But this genie is made by an exothermic reaction.
Now, boys and girls, this genie that you're about to see is caused by our exothermic reaction. An exothermic reaction is something that takes place when two chemicals mix together. It gets very, very hot. In fact, you will see the results of this reaction in just a few moments.
That's right. This is going to get so hot that our bottle is actually going to shrink. And as it shrinks, our genie is going to be released from the top of the bottle in a giant cloud of steam.
So it's going to shrink just like Ian's head did?
Exactly like that.
We didn't have any steam coming out of your ears, did we, Ian?
Not
No,
yet.
keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. So, we're going to get ready to show you this really cool reaction using our bottle. We're not going to use this bottle, we're going to use the one that we've got right here on our clamp. Now, the reason it's on our clamp is because, like Steph said, it's going to get very, very hot. So hot, in fact, that you will not be able to hold the plastic bottle. And you can see that the two bottles are exactly the same size. Now, this bottle on our clamp here has some very, very special chemicals inside of there. The chemical that's in there is hydrogen peroxide. It's a very, very dangerous, very, very strong chemical. Boys and girls, mums and dads included, please do not go home trying any of the dangerous science out that you do see today, because I don't want to hear of anyone getting hurt. Always do it under the supervision of a science professional. So, we're going to mix the two chemicals. Leah has another chemical over there in her little pot. This is a very interesting chemical. This is going to be the catalyst that's going to cause the reaction to take place. Now, you've got to watch very, very carefully and very closely because, like Steph said, it will look like a genie coming out of the top of the bottle. It will come out like a cloud of steam. Not smoke, but steam. So, here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Got you, J2R.
And there is our steam coming out of the top of the bottle. Now you'll also notice that really strange things are going on with the bottle, and there's all sorts of things flying out at the top of there. But not only do we get our steam, but we also got the bottle that hot that it shrunk in size. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause for Steph and her magic genie! So, that was a reaction that when it takes place,